I would like to see it play out, and I think the 49ers had a ton of leverage. And if they wanted to, they probably could have got a better deal for Brock if they let it play out. I think the important thing for them is they wanted no distractions and get him in here in OTAs. So they, gave a little more than they probably could have. But I also think Brock took a little less than he probably, if he wanted to hold out, he could probably push it a little bit. They didn't set the market. And as we know, 49ers tend to set markets, right? They did it with George Kittle. They're probably going to do it with Fred Warner. So for their players that they consider elite, they have no problem setting the market. And when you look at Brock's contract, he's below a lot of players that got contracts in previous years, a year or two in the past. So really, I didn't want to go over $49 million, and I don't think the 49ers had to. They really didn't have to pay him a contract. But they wanted to make it work. They believe in Brock Purdy, the leader. They want stability. So it's like, it's not like great. I'm like not jumping up and down for joy that they're paying him $265 million. But I also don't think it's an awful contract. I think it's on the high side of fair is what I would say. If you believe that Brock Purdy is the future of this franchise, and obviously the 49ers do.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. It feels like they're sort of paying for what he did in the past. Like, look, man, we only gave you like less than $3 million. We really want to, you earned this. You deserve this. Where I think you're giving extensions based off what's best for the franchise and what you're going to get in the future. And I think what's best for the franchise would have been going year to year. And I know they're saying, well, now they have no drama, but we'll see if that really translates to more wins this year. Because I just can't. I've never heard of a quarterback coming off a season where he had 6 wins and 20 touchdowns and 2 injuries, and he gets $53 million a year. I've never heard of that. I know there are other quarterbacks making about what he makes who are not as good as him, but like, is that really an argument for why the 49ers should pay Brock? The Dolphins paid Tua. Does that mean the Niners should pay Brock? I don't know. It just seems like the elbow injury still concerns me. I don't think he has as much zip as he had as a rookie. And when he really had to prove it last year without Christian McCaffrey out there, he shrunk. He wasn't as good as the year before. And I feel like the Niners are counting on him bouncing back to the guy he was in 2023, when I feel more confident that the 2024 version is what we're going to see moving forward, closer to that.
Yeah, and I understand the concerns. Again, how it's structured, it does matter. And we got some details today. We're going to get more to where we really understand what it looks like. But one thing that I did look at is his percentage of total salary cap. And it looks like that's going to be 14th compared to other quarterbacks that have gotten contracts over the last 4 years. Like, as far as like what percentage of salary cap is he pulling from the Niners compared to other quarterbacks? So to me, like, they believe in Brock Purdy. They like Brock Purdy. They think he's a good fit, but they're also paying him. Honestly, it seems like they're paying him kind of like where I see him. Like, they're not, they didn't beat Dak Prescott in the Cowboys contract. They didn't, he's 7th on the per year basis. He's, I believe, what is it? 9th or 10th on the total amount or bonus. It's not that bad. I think it's like a decent contract if you believe in Brock Purdy. Now, the question is, they did this to prevent drama, but the drama will transpire if he ends up not being better than he was last year, and now they're stuck in his contract. That's when the drama could appear around this situation. But as for right now, they paid a high side of fair price for a quarterback that they believe in.
Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. The app is really easy to use. To make a lineup, all you have to do is pick more or less on a few players' stats. You can play Prize Picks in over 40 states, including California and Texas. Best of all, Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50. Basketball season is here, and there's no better time to get in. Just use promo code COHN, COHN, and download Prize Picks now.
So
it makes me wonder how much they believe in him, though, because there's a big contrast between this and the Nick Bosa extension.
Mhm.
Like with Nick Bosa, they made him the highest paid non-quarterback in the league, no questions asked. When it was finalized, they had like their cameras document him coming off his private jet, arriving in Santa Clara to sign the deal. They had a whole rollout. They were so proud to make Nick Bosa the highest paid 49er of all time. And with Brock, they haven't announced it yet. And all we're getting before the Niners finally announce it is sort of like this, these whispers sort of trying to control the narrative and do these, paint this contract in a more favorable light to the 49ers. Because when it first comes out, it's like, oh my God, $53 million a year, $55 million a year for the first 3 years. Brock won, and a full no trade clause. We'll talk about those details in a second. But then you hear other little whispers like, well, if you actually include 2025 in the extension, then it's $45 million a year. And I feel like if you're trying to do those mental gymnastics, like that's what they did when they traded for Trey Lance. It's like, well, actually, it wasn't 3 first-round picks. It was 2 first-round picks and a pick swap. Like once you start trying to do those mental gymnastics, it tells me that you're not super excited about the deal you just did, like to the extent you were when you extended Bosa.
Yeah, it seems like a middle of the road contract, right? Like if it was like 60 million per year, like Dak Prescott, I think a lot of us would be like, whoa, like this is crazy. If it was in the 40s, like a Daniel Jones contract, a lot of us would be like, man, Niners got a pretty good deal on it. And since we're not at either of those places and it's right in the middle, they say that, a good negotiation has both parties a little upset, right? Like I think Brock probably figures he probably could have got a little more if he stuck with his guns. I think the Niners probably figured they could have got him for a little cheaper if they stuck with their guns. But seems like they came in the middle, compromise. It's an okay contract. I think the only way you should really anyone should really have a problem with this contract to me, and again, we got to see the details, is if you don't think Brock Purdy is the answer at quarterback for the 49ers as far as winning a Super Bowl. But to your point, real quick, that's what I mean. And that's why I feel like it's a good contract. Basically, everything you said. It's not this set the bar market contract. So the 49ers basically paid Brock what they think he's worth, which is right around 10th best quarterback in the league. That's what it feels like to me. And that's why I walk away with it. Okay. Like if you're going to pay this guy, seems like you paid him about where he belongs.